Hi, my name is Alejandro Perez. I am with Sentry IMS, and today I am going to be showing you a demo on all the tools and features Sentry has to offer. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share you my screen so you have the ability to see what I am doing. From any device, from any computer or any laptop, you are able to access our platform by typing in portal.sentryims.com. As long as you have access to internet, you will be able to access our platform and access your customers' data. Once you're on this site, you're going to be able to type in your user and password that you have selected and on Sentry. So you're going to go ahead and type them in. You're going to click on login. If you were to have more than one location or more than one office, Sentry will ask you which office do you want to go ahead and enter that day so that Sentry can identify all the transactions that you've been doing under that office. If you only have one office, then this specific screen will not show up. Once you have selected that, what Sentry is going to do is going to give you a notification toolbox. Here is going to tell you that, for instance, right now I have 228 pending notifications. Now, what are those notifications? Well, for one, we do have a calendar on the right-hand side. And this is a very good tool for you to administrate yourself and your agents as well. As you can see here, I have multiple schedule appointments. If you hover your mouse, you'll be able to see the small detail on it. I have some in red and some in blue. And that's because Sentry allows you to put a priority so you can identify exactly what is very important, and you can give them a certain amount of levels so that you can see what's coming up and how important it is. For instance, here I have more than 3 appointments set. You can always double click on the date that you want to see that you have more than one appointment, and Sentry will give you those appointments with that detailed information. This is a great tool because you can also share information with your other agents as well. Say I want to create an event for the 29th, or actually let's just say the 23rd, and I want this customer or this agent to call this customer. I'm gonna say Alex Perez. Follow up on the quote, right? And I want to put this as a medium priority. I want to give this agent 5 minutes before. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to assign this specific event to one agent, and specifically because I want him to follow up with this customer. And we also have a great integration that we just did with Google Calendars that allows you to communicate and have this information also on your phone. That way you do not miss not one appointment, which is a very great tool to have. So once you have put in the information you need, all you have to do is click on add event, and there we have it. So now we have 5 events on the 23rd. As you can see here, we'll have the event right here. Bear with me, and there it is. It's Alex Perez is the customer. Tell him to follow up, and now the minute Carlos logs in into Sentry, he's going to be able to see that he has this notification, and he'll be automatically be able to see in his calendar. If he's already in Sentry, he should get a pop-up window on the bottom right-hand side. The rest of your notifications are on the top right-hand side. So this is where Sentry allows you to maintain your book of business. This is where Sentry allows you to be up to date with all your customers' data and policies. So as you can see here, I have my today events, my upcoming events, and my past due events. On my today events, I'm going to be able to see, like today, hey, I have this customer that the policy expires on the 22nd. So obviously, in my upcoming events, I would have had this information prior, because Sentry does give you 30-day notice on your customers' birthdays, on renewals, and registration renewals as well. That way, you have the ability to follow up and maintain this policy, or make sure that there was no upgrades, make sure that the premium and everything else is as it was last year, or maybe if it did go up on the premium, then you can go ahead and justify it or rewrite it or requote it, so maybe you can find the best and lowest rate possible for that client. So once you have that information, it's very easy. Sentry gives you the information, and all you really got to do is just click on the policy number, and as you can see, Sentry will open another tab, and it'll take you directly onto this customer's profile. Now you are able to work simultaneously with 2 different customers at the same time. So we talked about what Sentry does in regards to the notifications. So once again, as your customers' birthdays, it will give you your calendars or any events, your policy renewals, and as well as registration renewals. And I will let you know a little bit. There's also one that we have here. Here we go on text messaging. You do have the ability, and this is a separate, this is optional, I should say, because you do have an option to do so because it does have a separate cost in Sentry that allows you to send and receive text messages directly through our platform. So this is another very, very great tool to have and have that communication with your agents. With that being said, those are the notifications you get instantly and automatically without even you running a report. Meaning like that you log into Sentry, you have this information in your fingertips so that you can get to work. Now, allow me to show you our homepage. Our homepage here on the top, you have all your LOBs, which is your line of business. This is where Sentry is very customizable because not everybody does all the lines of business in the insurance industry. So if you don't do life and health, you have the option in Sentry to select it or unselect it so that this tab or icon will not show up. So this is where you are able to go to customize it and manage the line of business that your agency offers to all your customers. Here are your suspenses, which I will show you in a minute how those works and how that operates and why that is another very important tool in Sentry. Here on your left-hand side, you will have your last 7 customers, most recent customers that you have been working with. The reason why we put this is because, for instance, say you're working with Mr. Chris and then Leticia calls you. You're going to be able to work simultaneously if you don't have more than one screen. So in order for you to not write down who you're working with or who is it that you are searching last or working on something on that profile, and in order for you not to go back and research it, Sentry will give them to here. That way you can just boom, 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 multitask, finish doing with something with Leticia, click on the homepage and go back to Chris without having to search for that customer. Maybe you're on the phone or you went out to lunch and came back. You already have the information here, so you can be like, okay, oh my God, I was working with Chris. Let me finish what I was doing. It just makes it more visible for you to be able to see that information and for you to navigate through Sentry a lot easier and have the information in your fingertips. As well as the logos, we do put you the LOB. So for instance, this Chris will have a health insurance, this is an auto, and this is a registration. So you can identify exactly what type of policy you're logging into. With that being said, let me show you real quick how a customer's profile looks like. So this is how a customer's profile looks like. There's a couple of information going on this profile that I would like to show you. One is the status. The minute that you log into Sentry, and if this customer has a cancel policy, I'll give you that status right here. If it's renewed, I'll say renewed. If it's active, I'll just be blank. It won't give you a notification. That pretty much means it's active. I'll tell you it's an auto policy. It will tell you the company and the policy number. Under the policy detail information, you'll see a couple of critical information here in Sentry. I'll give you the carrier information. All the carriers will have the customer service claim and fax number in case you needed to call the company, or the customer calls you and tells you, you know what, I got into an accident, who do I call? You have this information immediately in your fingertips so you can assist your customer right away. As we all know, that's very important and it happens pretty much almost every day. You also have the ability to click on the direct link that will take you directly to the customer's carrier, to the carrier, excuse me, to the customer's carrier so that you can service the customer right away and as well as in Sentry. So I'll open a separate tab so you can work side by side with Sentry and the carrier as well. You'll have the producer code. You will have the ability to put the producer code so that in case you have more than one office or more than one producer code, you will be able to see exactly, excuse me, sorry about that. You'll be able to see what producer code is this policy under. It also gives you the term of the policy, if it's a 3, 6, or 12-month policy. This is the crucial information that we have here in Sentry. This is one of the only few things that you will input in manually once you bridge it over from your rater, whether you use FSC or ITC. That was going to be your initial payment. How much did I charge this customer in total to start this policy? What was my term premium for the policy if it was sold 3 or 6 or 12 months? What was the company premium, your fiduciary, what the fiduciary was? What was the broker fee? And Sentry will do the math for you right away. Once you put the initial payment in the fiduciary, Sentry will give you the broker fee. Now you have your payment type. Was it paid in full? Was it in monthly installments? And then your installment. How much was the installment amount? And your billing. Was it a direct bill or was it an EFT? The reason why we put this is because in case, say I'm going to give you a quick scenario real quick. This policy is canceled. We need to rewrite it. But I know that Ricardo sold this policy here because of the record of info. I'll be able to know immediately from what office he sold it to and who sold it and when and where. So therefore now I can tell Mr. John Smith if he's going to rewrite the same policy. Do you still have the same driver? Is it the same vehicles? Yes, it is. Perfect. Are you still going to do monthly payments? Yes, I will. Perfect. Are you still going to want to make your payments? Yes, I will. So you already have this information without running any reports. You're going to be able to maintain this broker fee, and you already know how much Ricardo, in this case, sold him the policy the first time. Therefore, it's very easy for you to manage and maintain that broker fee average that you currently have on this customer. So that's very crucial information that you already have in your fingertips, that you do not have to run a report to get this information. So with that being said, you have your drivers, you do have your vehicles, um, you do have your coverages. You're able to see all the coverages from each vehicle. You are able to put notes on our system. Once you put a note on the system, the note will actually stay timestamped. It will tell you the date and time that the note was created, the note, and who was the agent that created the note. But also, what you can do with Sentry, it will allow you to do two things with this note. One of them will be a pop-up note. If you guys notice, the minute I logged into this customer the first time, the first thing that happened is that note popped up. So it's very important that once you utilize this tool, you will have that communication with the agents in case this customer had a balance, or maybe this customer it's painting pictures and is very urgent, or maybe this customer has a claim and he only needs to talk to the manager, or whatever the scenario might be. You guys want to be in communication so that anything that needs to be done to this customer gets done, because you physically have to close this pop-up note in order for you to proceed. The other option Sentry allows you to do with the notes is it will allow you to actually send it as a reminder. You click it on the label, your calendar will show up, select the date. Once again, you do have the ability to put a priority and an alert, and it will also allow you to share this information with anybody else as well if you needed to. So that's another great tool that you can have, because communication in an office is very important. That's a key point. Moving on onto the documents. Once you click on the documents, for instance, he'll tell you, I have 25 documents attached to this customer. Now here, this is where you're gonna attach all your new business. This is where you're gonna attach your payment confirmations, your endorsements, your pictures, anything that you want to have in regards to this customer so that you can have a paperless office. Once you do that, you do have two options on how to do this. You can do a drag and drop, or you can select choose file. I'm going to give you a quick example real quick on how that would work. I'm not going to do it, but I'll just have to drag it and drop it here. And if I let go, it'll automatically save it into Sentry. You also have the ability to rename an attachment. For instance, here it says download pic 1. This is a picture, but I don't know what it is. I want to be able to let my agent know, or my underwriting department know, what have I just attached. So in Sentry, you do have the ability to change that. This is a great tool. On my experience with other management system, I was not able to do that. So the minute you attach something with the wrong name, it was kind of frustrating, because you will have to reattach it and then let your underwriting department know, whoever was in charge of that, that you made a quick mistake. Now here in Sentry, you are able to rename that attachment, and the best part of it, you can put a description so you know exactly what's on that attachment. Moving on into the receipts. Once you create a receipt or click on the receipt tab, excuse me, you'll be able to see here that I have 130 receipts done to this customer. Now, this is the cool part about Sentry real quick. I can see every single receipt that has been done to this customer by the receipt number, the agent, because I can see the initials, the date and what transaction, and if there was any broker fee or agency fee, depending on how you call it. You can also see the premium, the total amount due, and the total amount paid. And you can also see if the customer ever had a balance before. So this is very crucial, because I can see all the transactions that have been done to this customer, once again, in case of a rewrite, or in case the customer says, you know what, last month they came and they didn't charge me a monthly payment. You're able to see that information right away without even running a report. So very cool feature that we have. And then to make a receipt is very simple. You click on the create tab, select the transaction that you're gonna do. So we're gonna do a monthly payment. Say the customer is gonna pay me their cash, credit card, or check. Now, all this information that we have here, Sentry is very customizable with this, because you are able to edit or modify any of this information the way you want it to say, or appear, I should say. So I'll say we're going to charge them $250. Let's just say I had a $5 monthly payment fee, and that's my broker fee. And then I'm going to put my agency, or the agency premium, or the EFT. Once again, you are able to modify this however you choose to. And as you can see, Sentry did the math for me. Now, it helps you to reduce error the margin of error by Sentry doing the math for you. Once I have selected that information, I do have a couple of options on what I can do with a receipt. I can put a comment on the receipt. Maybe if this customer has a balance, I can put the balance due date there, even though Sentry will send you a calendar notice telling you when is this balance due. But you can also put small comments on the receipt so the customer can see. You also have the ability to process a credit card payment directly with Sentry because we also have merchant services integrated with Sentry as well. Now I've done the receipt. I click on create. Sentry will automatically generate the receipt for me. And here we go. I already know that once again, I did this receipt. When did I do that receipt? What was it? And what premium and what broker fee was included? I'm able to send this receipt via text message as well. And I'm going to show you real quick one of the receipts that we have, how it will look like. And if you send it via text message, this is exactly what the customer is going to see. Here at the bottom of the receipt, normally we do put marketing strategies or marketing pictures or content so that when the customer receives this text message, this receipt via text message, I'm sorry, you'll be able to market yourself as well. Maybe you want to put something like, hey, we give you $25 refer a friend, or all your services so the customer can know all the services that you have available in your agency. So that's as far as part of the receipts go. That's what you can do. Sentry does allow you to do a couple of things with letters really quick. I mentioned earlier that Sentry gives you the birthdays notifications for your customers. We do have a birthday letter here already generated in Sentry as a generic letter that you can also send via text message to your customer. We put your logo and your agency information, and you can send this to your customer and make your customers feel really special. You'd be one of a kind, and as you can see, it's already pre-selected. It tells you your customer's information. You don't have to put any other information, and you have that available. You also have it in English and in Spanish in case you needed to. We do have a couple of other letters in hand that you can use: a cancellation notice, cancellation request. You do have a fax cover sheet. Another great tool that Sentry has is you actually have an underwriting opinion sheet. As we all know, most of the time when you start an insurance policy, not all the documents are being presented right away. Sometimes the registrations are expired or they don't have it, or the other vehicle that you insured is not in the office, which is very common. That happens in the insurance industry. So therefore here, you can select maybe you file a missing document that you missed a signature on, or maybe you do need the registration, or maybe you need proof of marriage, or maybe the customer has a balance. And you can go ahead and type in this information that you needed to. If you need something that's not here, you still have the ability to put it as under other and go ahead and type the information that you need to send to this customer. And once again, the great tool about this is you can send this via text message to your customer. I'll show you a preview of how the customer will look at that if you send it via text message, or if you print it out or download it and email it. You have several ways to send this information over. Now, once again, you have immediate response. This specific page is already in English and in Spanish. And as you can see, you have a check mark so the customer know exactly what is it that they need to do, or what is it that they need to send, or that you're requesting. So those are a couple of generic letters that you do have here in Sentry that are very important and very easy to use. One other feature that we do have, and I would like to emphasize a little bit more on this, is the accord forms. You also have the ability to send any accord form as well as via text message to your customers. As you can see here, I have the ability to look at every single accord form that we have sent to this customer. I can see when they send the accord form. I can see who's the agent that's in the accord form from what policy as well. And it's very easy to generate an accord form. All I have to do is click on the vehicle that I want to send this accord form to, select the accord form, say I want to do a binder or maybe an ID card. Maybe the customer just got pulled over and he needs an ID card because he cannot find it. Well, I can just send it via text message. Your customer will get it right away. Now you just helped out your customer in less than a minute. Isn't that great? Those are the tools and benefits that you have with Sentry. And therefore, these are some of the great tools and ability that Sentry does have to offer for your agency. We also mentioned earlier about the suspenses, and I told you I was going to show you how this works. Now allow me to elaborate on that real quick. Say John Smith called and he was looking for Ricardo, or say Carlos, for instance, right? But Carlos is in the other line, or Carlos is at lunch, or maybe it's his day off. But Mr. John wants to talk to Carlos. Well, so that I don't forget, or typically we write a sticky note and put it on somebody's desk, right? You can actually come into Sentry, click on Suspense, put the subject, send it, select the agent that you want to send it to, and then the note. Hey, Carlos, Mr. John said to please give him a call back, and go ahead and write the suspense. Click on create. What's going to happen is the next day, or when Carlos logs into Sentry, three things are going to happen. The minute he logs in, he's going to see how many notifications he has pending. Number two, he's going to get a little pop-up window on the bottom right-hand side. Number three, he's going to be able to see them on his notifications. And then also he's going to be able to see them right here. So he's going to be able to see, oh, look, Alex sent me a suspense in regards to this life policy, in regards to Chris Swift. Oh, I need my doctor documents. I need to contact this customer. I can also click on the little I so I can see the rest of the note. And I can also, most importantly, reply to Carlos and let him know, thank you, Carlos. I already called the customer. I already took care of it. That way Carlos knows I already took care of this issue by me clicking on this little box. Now it has a check mark. That means, hey, I already did it. Thank you very much. So now Carlos can clear this suspense off, and it's off his screen and it's off my screen. That communication, once again, is very important and key to maintaining that customer relationship management. And that's what a CRM is all about. And lastly, that I'm going to talk to you guys about real quick is that you do have the ability to search for a customer with different criterias. Right away, super easy. I'm going to give you a quick example. Say I have an Andy Lugo, because Andy Lugo comes every month to make his monthly payment. I can put AN, and I know he has Infinity. So I'll just type in AN 104 and the policy number, and there you have it. That fast, that easy. Sentry can recognize exactly who you're looking for, and it'll give you two ways to do a result format. This is a table format. I personally like the cards better because it gives you a little bit more information, because you are able to, get access to the customer faster, or maybe you want the email address right away. It just gives you a little bit more information, if you will. And once again, you just click on the policy number, and there you have it. I'm already inside Andy Lugo's profile. I'll click on Infinity because he wants to make a payment. Boom, 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 boom. In less than a minute, I can assist this customer, service this customer, and take care of his needs. So with that being said, these are some of the tools and abilities that Sentry does have to offer. I did mention earlier about the text messaging, and this is where you can send a text message to your customer just by clicking on the mobile number. You do have the ability also to make a call. Once again, these services or these features are sold separately and have a separate charge. We do have a sister company called Multicom that will allow you to have access to the services. And once again, all you do is click on the text message, send your message. You do have only up to 160 characters to work with. So those are some of the tools and some of the features that Sentry has to offer. I hope you guys really enjoyed what I showed you. And if you guys are more interested in more information and give you a full demo on all the other great features that Sentry does have to offer, do not hesitate to contact us. Our email address will be below. Our website will be below is sentryims.com, and we'll be more than happy to contact you and give you a more in-depth video and demo of Sentry. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a great day.